Okay, welcome back. The wind is going to play total hell with the audio today, so hopefully the dead cat will help cover up some of that. So we are back out on the range with the PD10. So yeah, PD10. So the colloquially known as the Rob Pincus gun. So some questions came up on the last video. People wanting to know what ammo I was shooting. It was 124 grain Scorpio. God, I hope you can hear this because it's blowing in my ears hard. So today I dug up. We have so much ammo. I've got cases and cases. This is some old PPU. Should be 124. Yeah, 124. I try not to buy 115. So we're gonna shoot this today. I'm not gonna say whatever happens or doesn't happen today is ammo related because I did take the gun apart and I thoroughly lubed it. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna just shoot on the plate. Well, I'm gonna shoot it. I'll shoot it on the. You can't even see the. Hold on. You can't even see that guy. Let's see if you'll be able to see me. So yeah, you'll be able to see me. So all right. So if I recall, see where it was hitting. I think it was hitting a little low left, maybe. I can't remember. Headshot. Squirreling in my hand a little bit. Definitely would benefit from some stippling, but you'll notice the gun ran, so that's a good sign. Let's as an aside, I don't believe, let me see if I can work. I don't think the slide stop's really that workable. It's not the most for me. It's also cold today, and it's like 40 degrees. All right, let's. Kind of screwed out. I hope you can see me. I hit low right. Oh shit! There it is again. Now this came up on the comments section. That slide stop is not engaged. I do not believe. So the round has not nosedived. So some of them earlier had been nosediving pretty badly. This is also the last round too. I probably should mark these magazines. So let me try working this. You know what? It might have been the slide stop just a little bit because I tapped on the slide stop. That was dead center. I held dead center. Well, unfortunately, I only have 2 magazines, so I have to keep reloading them. So if this gun works out, I'm probably going to reach out to Avity and probably request 3 more magazines because I need really at least 5 to really kind of shoot a gun. Hold on one second. Okay, now we're perpendicular to the humanoid target, or you are, and the wind is now blowing straight across the microphone. I'm sure this is just awesome. So I'm just going to try dumping rounds into the humanoid target. I might be maybe about 8 yards away, and let's see if we can't catch. Yeah, there is a locked back slide stop, by the way, in case you're curious. It's slipping around in my hand a little bit, but I would have thought if we were going to have an issue, that was going to be it. So again, I'm not gear reviewer, but the gun is kind of wearing on me a little bit. It is, a very thin gun, so kind of high up. Let's see here. There's an interesting mold mark back here, and I don't know if that's just left over from the molding of the frame, or maybe they were thinking about putting some kind of pin in there in the future for maybe thumb safety. So also, for those curious, I've opened this gun up. It appears to be, to me, I think, I don't build guns, a Glock Gen 3. So it's not a true single action gun. It actually cocks as you pull the trigger, so it's pretty safe. And let's load up some more mags again, because I've only got 2. I do have a slight plate rack addiction. That's why we have our own plate rack. See if I can't redeem myself a little bit on. Still can't quite get that slide stop. Also, that is starting to open up a little bit. So that's at 40 rounds I fired, I believe. I'll count it on video. Let me check and see. Oh, fuck. God damn. Nosedive. Heavy nosedive. Slide stop is not engaged. So let's see if you can see the angle on that. See how that's heavy nosedive. See, I literally just took that shot to get point of impact so I could look good on the plate rack. Son of a bitch. All right. Now, I almost just doubled that. I don't have a holster for this gun since it's a striker gun. I don't want to just shove it in the AIWV that I'm wearing for my 1911. So, all right. Can you see me? Yes, you can. Literally, I was trying to run the plate rack. You can see. I want this gun to work. I mean, like, I'm not a gear reviewer, and I'm not going to chase function. I should probably mark the magazines and see if there's an individual magazine that's causing a problem, but son of a bitch. You lock it back, pull the mag out so we don't get a double feed. All right. Heavy nosedive. It's a heavy nosedive. See that angle? So what I'm going to do, since we're here, this is why I'm not a gun reviewer. I'm losing interest. Damn it. Did it again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this mag, and then I'm going to set this magazine aside. And now I'll keep shooting, and I'll just do it with one magazine. See if it doesn't clean itself up. And apparently I can't hit shit. So I'm like trying to figure out where I'm hitting it. And so I'm like, wait a minute, like I'm hitting it low, it doesn't drop. I adjust, then I miss. I'm obviously it's me. I'm ganking the trigger. Hold on. Let me load up one magazine. I'll be right back. Let me reset this plate rack. All right. That's still working. Can't apparently hit anything. Still trying to figure out the sights, which is frustrating. Oh shit. See that right there? That's my skin. So it's skinning me pretty good. So let's load up another magazine. You know the drill. It's not as deep of a nosedive, but it's a stoppage. Ooh, flashback to 1911 feed. It's not a malfunction, it's a feedway stoppage. Slide stop is not in. That actually could be slightly engaged. Now we're going to open up more drama on the internet. So my fingers, I am not riding up on that slide stop. This is my grip. So there's the slide stop. There's my support hand. This is the grip I'm shooting with. I am not riding up on that slide stop. Let's do it on film. Gotta do it backwards. Let me fiddle with the slide stop. I could just be slightly engaged. Yeah. Last round. So that's where we're at. Okay, you thought the video was over, but unfortunately for you, it is not. The shooting sequence that you witnessed on film was from, today is Saturday the 4th, and I've had a few days to reflect and think about it, and I realized before we sat on the video, we've edited it, and then we sat on it and we talked about it, and I realized if I write all of this in the description of the video that none of you will ever read it, and it'll just get, I can already see where the comment section is going to go and where things are going to go, and I'm just going to head a lot of this off at the pass. And I feel like if I just add this to the end of this video, so the video as of the edit before I add this in was already 13 minutes and like 50 some seconds. So this is a horrendously long video, but we're going to go ahead and I'm going to sum up my position on the PD10 pistol, and then I'm going to sum up what I would assume would be the maker's position, because we have to be intellectually honest. I'm going to reiterate, like I've said a bunch of times on video, we are not gear reviewers. We didn't ask this video. This gun was brought in on T&E, so test and evaluation, because I'm legitimately interested in this gun. My disdain for super small pocket rocket guns is well known, and I don't care who makes them. I don't care if Glock makes it. I don't care if Wilson makes it. I don't care if H&K makes it. I'm a larger person with large-ish type hands, and having a gun with basically a full grip on it is something that interests me. And the idea that, Avity would make this gun, that single stack but large enough to fight with, and yet I don't have to like raise my pinky to load it, even like the Glock 19. The Glock 19 is too small for my hands. That's why we legitimately were like, man, that's an interesting gun. How come more people don't talk about it? So let's go through what I think probably, to give the benefit of the doubt, for the manufacturer of this gun, because there's things that, they can't control what I do. They can't control the session on the range, or give real-time feedback. They're going to watch this the same way you are at home, so we need to be fair to them. We're not gear reviewers, but we got to do this. So a couple of the things that could be the issue are, there could be some magazine problems with the gun. So I mean, maybe that's an issue. The other argument would be that possibly the user, me, is bumping the slide. Or bumping the slide stop. We'll get to my reaction to that in a minute. So that is certainly a possibility, or even, possibly me riding the slide. I've never really had too much an issue with that, but there was skin on the slide of the gun from my hand. So, that's always a thing. Limp wristing is certainly a data point that is going to come up in the comment section. So we have to go ahead and say that. And then, possibly an ammo situation. So we did two types of ammo. If I recall, it was an SVI ammo, and then it was some PPU ammo. And also, all the ammo I put through this gun was 124 grain. That is what in 9mm, that's what we always buy over here. We buy it by the gobs and gobs and gobs of cases. And the reason is, we shoot a lot of mostly full-size guns, because I like full-size guns. 5-inch, 9mm 1911, for example. And also, again, if you look at this, conceptually, these guns are, I think, in my opinion, are very similar. If this was a Commander, it would be a very similar idea. So, like, to me, this was like, a Commander striker gun. It was like, that's kind of interesting. So, but we have to, in with the ammo. So, I did notice, watching the video and editing the video, that there were some hits on those falling plates that normally would have fallen. And, thinking back on it, perhaps in a gun with such a small barrel, it would benefit more from shooting 115 grain ammo. I mean, I really do not buy 115 unless we absolutely have to, like, there's a pandemic and we can't get cases of 124. And the reason is the 124 for us is the NATO loading, or at least the NATO weight. So a standard that we maintain for our 9mm handguns across the board in reference collection is 124 grain. So that's kind of where, we could be with this gun. Let's talk about my reactions to those theoreticals. So to be fair to Avity, let's also be fair to me, so this will be my chance to respond in the comment section of everything that's going to come up. I think I showed it on film. I tried to, but we discussed it in the office with numerous people, that a lot of people are going to be assuming that I'm bumping the slide stop on this gun. And I assure you I am not, but there's no way I can prove that on the internet. So just the way my hand fits and, the shape of my thumb, I'm not bumping the slide stop. The other thing that came up while manipulating this gun or working this gun is I could feel the magazine moving up and down in my hand with various iterations of working the gun, which means the entire mag body is moving up and down inside the gun, which could be presenting different angles for how the round presents for feeding. And so, that could certainly be an issue. Maybe that would be addressed with a different magazine plate, bottom metal, whatever you want to call it. None of this, even if you're saying that maybe I'm inducing, or it's a user error with this gun, you really can't explain the deep nosedives that we experience with this gun. I'm still kind of defaulting that there's some magazine issues here.
But the super deep nosedives, and we actually, again, the first video we did of this gun, there were a ton of them. Like right, a first shot, second shot, third shot. Like the first two magazines was out of control. So we had a lot of deep nosedives that weren't on video, but they're still the ones that showed up on this video that you've seen. As far as my response to limp wristing the gun, I am not limp wristing this gun. I'm not. However, I have been in this business just as long as just about anybody else. I've been doing this for 30 years, and I've been in this space professionally for well over 20. And there is a phenomenon with a lot of these pocket rocket guns that we have to acknowledge, but there's a caveat with it. And what it is anytime you shoot these super small guns, they're much more sensitive to outside influences or things going wrong. The slide is cycling faster because there's less mass. There's more recoil energy bouncing through the gun, causing magazines to bounce up and down and parts to possibly bounce up and down. And so they get more sensitive to things not being perfect. And there is a known phenomenon with pocket rocket guns where people get tired. And a gun that's working fine, a pocket rocket gun at the start, maybe later on down the line, as they start to get a little tired or a little sloppy with the gun starts choking. And so possibly I am getting tired with the gun and I'm inducing malfunction. The rest of this question that you should ask yourself at home, if that's true, I'm not even saying it is, but if it's true, if that's going to happen to a guy like me that's been doing this for 30 years, is this a gun that you would want to hand to, say, a novice shooter or your girlfriend or your wife or maybe someone who doesn't shoot all the time? Because that's essentially what a lot of these carried a lot, shot a little guns, that's the market that they're made for. So if that's true and that's happening to me, what are the chances it's really going to happen to you? So just, again, being fair. Finally, I think there has to be an admission on my part that one thing that has come to mind with this gun in particular is I have probably hit a point with the size of this gun where it is too small for my hands. I'm not going to say I have large hands, but I have large-ish hands. That's always been a known thing. Again, the Glock 19 is too small for me. And I will admit that when I'm grabbing this gun, it almost feels like, I'm just having a hard time holding the gun. In many ways, the gun feels like, take your 1911, if you're a 1911 guy, take your single stack 1911, take your grip panels off, and then try shooting the gun without grip panels on and see how thin it is. That's essentially what you're dealing with here, because this gun uses single stack 1911 magazine bodies. And they're not 1911 magazines, but they're magazine bodies. So it might just be a situation where this gun is just too small for my hands, or my hands are too big, for this gun. And it's that if that ends up being the case, that does not damn this gun into purgatory forever. Okay, all that is saying is it's not a good match for us. It's not a good match for me, and I'm not a good match for the PD10. That doesn't mean someone else out there. Like, look, every girl that I've ever dated, that we subsequently broke up, all those girls have eventually gotten married or had kids. It's not like they're terrible people and they went on to become, great wives and mothers and whatnot. I mean, so it's not like, well, this didn't work out, so screw you forever. But that's how the internet is. And if I don't say that in this video, and I just write this in a description, especially gun forum people, you motherfuckers don't read anyway. So I figured I'm going to go ahead. Apparently, looking at the time on this, I'm adding another 12 minutes to this video just so we can kind of head a lot of you guys off at the pass. So I feel like with this closing section, I'm being fair to Avity, but I'm also being honest about myself and where we at with this gun. I guess the final statement I will make, we're going to be sending this gun back to Avity. The plan was, if it works out great, we were going to see if we can't buy the gun, put it in the collection, get more magazines, and do some stuff with it. But right now, it's not you, it's me. We're just going to send it back to them, and we're not interested in, trying to work it out, or maybe they discover something's wrong with the gun, because we're not gear reviewers. I've kind of lost interest in the gun. That's not a criticism of the gun. I've lost interest in the gun. We don't do like every time some new product comes down the road, it's like, ooh, send it to us. This gun appealed to us. It appealed to me personally in the middle of building a new armory, which we do not have time for. Reached out to Avity. They were so nice. We don't request that many T&Es, but this has to be some kind of record on how quickly Avity sent this over to us. I was shocked how quick this gun came in. So, thank you for the opportunity. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. If you want to see any more stories or pictures or links of anything like this, please go to the website at John1911.com. That's JOHN1911.com. Remember, it's all about shooting guns and having fun. Everybody, have a good day.